Is it gonna go live now, maybe? Hello? Trying to do a live stream. Thank you. Here we are. Hello, people. Welcome to weekly update 30. Number 30. Hope you guys are doing okay. Because if you're not, that's a bit of a bum, isn't it? Bit of a big old plop. Bit of a big old ploppy pants of doom. Just check that the audio's alright. D. Yeah, there's me now. Me. So, rather interesting day so far. This is weird. This somewhat right odd has happened today. I'll tell you that right now. I don't even know how to go about telling you. That sounds like out of nowhere. Basically, I'm just gonna tell you. I have nothing to lose. For the first time in, I'd say over a decade, if I had to guess, I crapped myself. Don't know how it happened. I'm not ill. I wasn't ill. I haven't been ill for a while. A very long time. And I didn't need a poo. I was just sat here watching a video about Werner Herzog, the German film director. I needed to fart. And when you're not ill and you don't need a poo, if you need to fart, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fart, aren't you? There was no pressure or anything, so it didn't feel like it was gonna be a particularly explosive one. There was no pressure, I just felt the need, so I thought I'd fart. And it was like a paste. And I was like, I sat there for a second and I was like, did I just crap my pants? And I thought, because sometimes you know it feels like you've crapped yourself, but you actually haven't. It's actually it was just a fart and it just felt weird. But I thought I'd have to check just in case. So I go into the bathroom, trousers down, stern, pants down, puddle. Oh dear. And I made sure to grab some underpants on the way, so I wasn't just walking around the house naked. So I grabbed some underpants from my room as I went into the bathroom. So, took all the lower side of myself, all the clothes off there, put them in a pile in the corner, and started wiping. Took an entire roll. Pretty much. And I needed to get I got a bottle of Listerine, right? And it was only a little bit, so I just poured that down the sink. I don't need that. Filled the bottle and washed it out a couple of times, so I wasn't pouring Listerine into my, so I filled it with water and kept pouring it down to wash it, and still took a couple of bottlefuls of water to fully wash the area. Put on the fresh pants. Put on the fresh pants. Put on the got some fresh new trousers. Not new trousers, but trousers which I would have had to save for tomorrow because it's a shower day tomorrow. Yes, I only have a shower once a week. Deal with it. It's my life, and I smell fine. At least my armpits smell fine. My bottom, not so much. It's been very active today. Anyway, so that's today. Now the rest of that's really the only interesting thing which has happened this week. It's probably the most interesting thing which has happened this year so far, to be entirely honest with you. This as far as my bodily functions are concerned. Not much has actually happened over the previous week, really. Apart from the films and stuff that I've been watching. I'll tell you before I tell you about the films I've been watching, a couple of films I watched have involved good old Ricky Gervais. and I've just watched literally yesterday, just in the entirety in yesterday, I watched the entirety of Afterlife. At least so far. Of course, they're currently filming series 3, but the first 2 seasons are done. I watched both of them in their entirety yesterday. Really enjoying this show so far. This is a really good show. Especially, I mean, visually, even the color grading, even it's not just amazing from a comedic angle, from an artistic angle, it's really good as well. Which I wasn't expecting from the guy who made The Office, because that's one of the greyest programs ever produced. But Afterlife is really colourful. It looks really good, especially the outdoors. At least in series 1. Series 2 is pretty desaturated. Maybe was an artistic choice, or maybe that's just the website I'm watching it on illegally that's done that. Like, I don't know whether it's actually that desaturated or whether it's the problem with the website. But series 1, at least, is very colourful and nice. I like it a lot. But they're both just as funny as one another, and I'm hoping season 3 is just as funny as the first 2, because it's a really good show. So that's that. So that's what's that? That's then what's that then? Previous week done. What are we doing over the following week? Gonna be watching some more films. I'm gonna start watching oh, actually no, that's not the only thing which has happened this week. Another interesting thing which has happened, it wasn't just today, it's over yesterday and today. This has happened. I've basically been in an argument in a YouTube comment section with an idiot who doesn't understand art or the film world today. So I'm gonna take you through this. I've screenshotted it on YouTube because he said that he was gonna report me like a little coward. So I'm not gonna actually show you this. I'm just gonna sort of read it out to you. I could show you it, but I think I might. I won't probably making a video on it. It's not that important. But basically, I've screenshotted all this and I've got them all here. But I'll just tell you about it rather than nah, you know what? Why not? I've got nothing better to do. I'll show you this. So here we are. So basically, this person, it's a video about a guy complaining, basically ranting, as I'm doing now, about go away, stupid things that my brother is on Steam. Anyway, so basically, a video of a guy ranting about the current state of cinema, which I agree with mostly. So somebody commented, I've decided that I'm not going to the theatres anymore. The movies are all about making money, period. People like me, grown adults with an IQ higher than room temperature, are being starved for a good story, and it's not happening, which I agree with. This person replied, even if I make a film with really good plot, good acting, and real good talent? Question mark. So I replied to him, you won't. It's the 21st century. That kind of stuff doesn't happen anymore, which is true. And this person replies, oh, so you're saying that even when I have the right degree and enough knowledge from the courses I take, I won't be accepted? And I reply, no, I'm saying that it's pretty much impossible to create a good film in the current century. I don't know why, it's just the case. So far, I've found only 4 films from this century. Most of you guys already know this, I've already talked about this, but this is just what I've said to this guy. So far, I've only found 4 films from this century that are as good as films from the previous one. Half of which by David Lynch, because David Lynch, great director. Mulholland Drive, Inland Empire, It's Such a Beautiful Day, and Possum. Possum, I think, is going to be the subject of the next Film Talk episode, by the way. Or it's either going to be about Possum, or it's going to be about great dystopian science fiction films. You'll find out when I do it, won't you? It's depressing, isn't it? It is. Quite clearly, a curse has been placed upon art from this century, making 99.99999% of it utter crap. I want you to make a good film. I want you to make 1,000,000 good films, but the odds are against you. That's what I said to him. He replies, what you said is not helpful. It is, but whatever, as it's very subjective. It's not. They're facts. Deal with facts. Thank you very much. Just because of your opinion or on anything after 2000, it doesn't mean it'll affect my skills as a filmmaker. If anything, listening to all these videos will actually be helpful. See, because the video was just about a guy ranting in the same way that I'm ranting here. So he's basically implying that that guy's ranting is worth more than my ranting, which is quite offensive in my opinion. I think that's a bit racist, even though the guy in the video is, maybe it's ageist, because that guy looked like he was in like his 20s or whatever. Maybe it's ageist. This guy's ageist, quite clearly. And he also has, notice that his profile picture is a Team Fortress 2 profile picture. So a guy with a Team Fortress 2 profile picture is trying to argue with me about art. That's interesting, isn't it? Anyway, so he said that. So I replied, it is helpful. I just gave you the only 4 films that were able to defeat the 21st century curse. I might also make a video on the 21st century curse. I've got at least 3 ideas for more episodes of Film Talk, which I know you guys are looking forward to. You better be anyway. I said if you study them, you might be able to defeat it as well. And then there will be 5. And then another filmmaker will be inspired by yours. And then they'll make a film. And then there'll be 6. And so on, hopefully. He replies, no, it's not. I like how he emboldens the not. As if it makes it any more correct. It doesn't, he's still an idiot, but whatever. He said, there are plenty of films after 2000 that I enjoyed, too many to list. I haven't seen any of the 4 films you brought up. I'm probably not even going to study them at college. Like that means something. Which might even make me study much older films. Oh wow, that's interesting. Thank you. Maybe even old enough for TCM. I don't know what that is. Thank you very much. I replied, well then you'll never make a good film. Studying older films is pointless because they were made in a time when it was easy to make a good film. The only way to make a good film in this century is to study the 4 films that did. Truth. That bit dose of truth for you. He said, what you say is still very subjective. It's not, it's a fact, but shut up. The fact that you only brought up 4 films that you say are good ones after 2000 is a big sign that you don't have the same taste, and you'll even get exposed for what you said. Now, you may have noticed that isn't a proper English sentence. That doesn't make any sense. So I basically quoted the bit which doesn't make sense, and then she just said, what? They replied, you clearly know what I mean. No, I don't. That's why I said what. He said, heck, there are plenty of movies after 2000 that lots of people recommend to others. That's a high number compared to only 4 from you. I replied, the difference is they're all wrong. I'm not. Until people stop listening to me, art will stay dead. Again, truth right there for you, ladies and gentlemen. So he replies, then go ahead and talk about it with as many people as you can find, but I'm not going to just listen to one person I don't know well enough to trust. If there are only 4 movies that you say good, that's not what I said, but okay. How am I supposed to think the same? I said, by watching them. Again, truth. No, I mean, how am I supposed to agree with your comments about how there are only 4 good films after 2000 when there are so many others I watched that I would say are really good? Talking about whether a movie is good or not is not an opinion. Is an opinion, not a fact. It's not really, is it? You may only like those 4 films, but some others might not. Either be reasonable or shut up. See, he's getting violent now because he can't handle the truth. That's the thing. He can't handle the truth, so he's getting angry. I say, I'm not saying there aren't any other good films from after 2000. Obviously there are, but they are only good when compared to other films from after 2000. The 4 I mentioned are the only films from after 2000 which are as good as films from before 2000. Again, facts. He replies, and your last sentence is the part that's incredibly subjective. There are many movies that I love that came after 2000, and none of them are any of the 4 you brought up, as if that means something, which it doesn't. Also, even movies from before 2000 are considered some of the worst. An example is whatever the hell that is. So, obviously at this point he's clearly not listening, because literally if he had read what my last comment, then he would know what my opinion on his next comment would be. So I reply, I'm not going to go and repeat myself when you clearly aren't listening, but I will ask you this: where is the Andrei Tarkovsky of today? Where is the Stanley Kubrick of today? Where is the Andrei Zalowski of today? They don't exist. This is the point I'm trying to make. Obviously, there are occasionally good films, but they're never as seen, and they can never be as good as the films these people made. See, this is the thing. This is the point, right? These people here, these 3 people, made some of the greatest films that have ever been made. And people like that, and the films made by the people like that, it doesn't happen now. So that's what that comment's all about. He replies, and stop. This is the bit where he gets proper babyish, right? And stop telling me that there are only 4 films after 2000 that are good when I love a lot of them. Again, I wasn't saying that there are only 4 films after 2000. I quite clearly say here, I'm not saying there are. Look at this. I'm not saying there aren't any other good films after 2000. And then he says, stop telling me that there are only 4 films after 2000 that are good. I didn't say that, so he's just not listening. when I love a lot of them. Also, I was always listening, but you've been forcing your opinion. Well, he wasn't listening, because if he was listening, then he would have read that. I'm also reporting you for spam. Okay, apparently now having a conversation is spam, ladies and gentlemen, whether it works or not, and exposing you on Discord servers. What a little babyish, whiny little thing, little creature, right? That's pathetic. So I said, good, at least then some people with hopefully more sense than you will hear the truth. Also, you're reporting me because I have a different opinion. Wow, what a... that word. I don't say the word, I just wrote the word. Now, naturally, because I used that word, YouTube deleted the comments, so I basically just re-commented it, but I changed that to coward. And he hasn't replied, like a little baby. So that's that argument. And then, obviously, you will all realise that I won the argument, obviously, because I was the only one basing anything on fact. But yeah, so that shows you the state of artists today. This person wants to be a filmmaker, but is quite clearly unable to take a different opinion, and filmmakers aren't good at that. Filmmakers need to be able to actually take criticism, which he's quite clearly unable to do, which is unfortunate, because he's gonna be wasting people's time. He's gonna be like, I'm gonna make good films. No, you're not, because you don't listen to me. So that's that. So next, what we're doing next? Next is okay, so that's the following week. Previous week. So now what I'll be doing of the following week. So you may have noticed the name Andrzej Zulawski on there. Now I haven't actually seen any films by him, but I've seen a couple of clips of some of his films, and they look really good. So over the following week, I'm gonna try. Now he made a lot more. It's not like with Andrzej Tarkovsky, where he made 7 films, so I can just watch one of his films every day for a week and then have watched all his films. He made 14 films, which you may have noticed is double 7. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch over the following week 2 of his films a day, and that way I will have watched every single one of his films. And then I think I might make a similar video that I made where when I watched one of Andrzej Tarkovsky's films every week, I did a video talking about each one of his films. I think I might do another one with Andrzej Zulawski, if that's how you pronounce his name, which it is. So, shh. So I think that's over the following week. I'm gonna be watching two films a day, which is rare for me. Like, the most films I think I've ever watched in a week since I started doing these weekly updates that I have a record of is like I think it was like 7 or 8. I think 8, if I had to guess. So 14 films in 1 week is going to be a challenge, but they're going to be artistic masterpieces, so I'm sure I'll be able to handle. If I can find them all, that is. They might not all be on the internet for free. It's not like we're with Andrzej Tarkovsky, where I got all of his films on DVD on a box set, so I know that I have them and I can watch them. This guy, I'm gonna have to find them on the internet. I know at least a few of them I'm gonna be able to find, but I don't know if I'll be able to find all of them. I'll try to by any means necessary, but so just understand if I'm not able to get to all of his films. I'll try to, but it might not be possible. So that's next week. Oh, and I've also done a few paintings. Should I show you the painting? I'll show you the paintings. Why not? God knows I've got nothing better to do. So let's see. Did I tell you about electronic sound? I did, didn't I? Yeah, based on the George Harrison album, because it was So transition to here. So these are the 5 paintings I've done this week. I've actually done 7. No, I haven't done 7. I've done 6. But one of them is I didn't take a picture of it because it's too big to fit in that, because it's long. It's like it's in one direction. It's like a really tall painting, and I have it above the stairs, so I couldn't really take a picture of it. But these are the 5 ones which I did, and these 4 if you exclude that one, are all based in the style of Howard Hodgkin, who's one of my favourite painters. It's probably my favourite painter, actually. So we have this one, this one, this one, this one, and then that one. So that's all the paintings that I've done this week. So that's following week. Now comment on current political events. Let's go. This is always really fun. So let's see what we've got here. Search for missing 11-year-old girl. Let's see what this is all about. Missing 11-year-old girl, state shock. Right. You're not in. See, if she leaves home without her parents' knowledge, right. So she's obviously gone willingly. Well, then she shouldn't return home. Simple. If it was unwilling, I thought it meant she was like kidnapped or something, because it says missing. Not missing, is she? She hasn't been kidnapped. She just ran away. They're obviously not very good parents, so that's that. Was last seen wearing a black hijab with a blue headscarf and a black dress. That's wow. What a description. It's gonna take no time to find her with a description like that. 3. Well, I mean, saying she's of Ethiopian heritage isn't any help, because these days anyone can identify as being Ethiopian, not Ethiopian. Ethiopian! I identify as Ethiopian. Anyway, having a slim build, again, not exactly a rare. Yeah, it actually is quite rare, but not rare enough. The woman's face was covered with a white face mask, and she was carrying an orange carrier bag. Again, that's not. Just, I mean, she obviously ran away willingly, so I honestly hope she isn't found, because she doesn't want to be, quite clearly. Otherwise, she wouldn't have ran away. What the hell is this? The young imam using Instagram to. I didn't click on that, did I? What's he doing? When Britain's youngest imams use social media to show that a religious leader can be someone who knows how to have a laugh. Oh god. Oh god. They're taking over the children. They're in danger. Anyway. The woman helping reunite volcano families. What the hell is a volcano? I don't know what that is. So that's the BBC News website. Now let's do the BBC News YouTube channel. Nathan Barnett is a live stream. He's a good guy. I know. Anyway, thousands of racehorses killed in UK and Ireland slaughterhouses. Okay, that's a bad thing, obviously. No one's arguing with that. See if anything interesting is happening. Olympic ceremony boss sacked over Holocaust joke. Yeah, that's because freedom of speech is going down the toilet, like my my poop from earlier. Why are so many committing suicide in prison? I don't really know. Maybe because it's prison, you stupid. What kind of stupid question is that? Why are so many people killing themselves in prison? Why are so many people driving cars on the road? Like, why are so many people using cameras to film themselves? Why are so many people using buttons to operate a television? Why are so many people using screens to look at things on the internet? Why are so many people using teacups to hold tea? I don't know. Maybe it is because it's the nature of the thing itself. You idiots. Ah, Jesus. A bootleg fire. What is a bootleg fire? So it's not a proper fire then? It's a cheap knockoff fire. Okay. 12 die as rain floods train tunnel in China. Interesting, isn't it? Tom Brady cracks election results joke at White House. What? I don't care. Jeff Bezos and crew launching to space on New Shepard. R.I.P. then. Just kidding, of course. Well, actually, no, R.I.P., but the P is pieces, not peace. Because evil people. Not necessarily the crew, but Jeff. Record number of migrants cross English Channel on a single day. Okay. Don't care. Welcome, as far as I'm concerned. Can't make the country any worse, can they? So we might as well let them in. Bored. Mask and social distancing downsides. Hajj. I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon? So is that... Oh, it's a tiny mecha. That's adorable. It's a little mecha. Oh. That's so adorable. Mini mecha. I wonder if they do bingo there. That'd be interesting. Might get sued if they tried to do mecha bingo. Moment mum saves her 5-year-old son from kidnappers. Why are there so many kidnappings going on nowadays? Wasn't there one last week as well? A news story about a kidnapping? Or is that just me misremembering something? It seems every day there's someone being kidnapped. Right then. Indeedy doo-dah. They do. That I agree with. They do need to publish their faces. Well, that's that then, isn't it? That's that. What else? And then it's back to previous week. Well, that's that then, ain't it? That's that then. So that's that. I just said that 3 times like a mental. Anyway, so that's current political. Now, talk about films I've been watching. This is where things go well, right? So I've watched some good films today. Today? I haven't watched any films today. I will be though. I'll be watching 2, won't I? The first 2 films of Andrzej Zulawski. I'll be watching to there, hopefully, if I can find them online, which I will, hopefully. Don't know I did that. Anyway, so first film I watched over the previous week was David Brent, Life on the Road. Ricky Gervais says the N-word in this film. I always thought he's the one offensive comedian who doesn't seem to have said it, but no, he finally had his chance, so lucky Ricky. But this is a real funny film. So that's that, yeah. Second film, Dark City, from 1998. This is the director's cut, because apparently the original theatrical version added it pulled a Blade Runner basically and added a voiceover which spoiled the entire film at the beginning of the film. I don't know what the exact contents of the voiceover are, but I just know that it spoiled it because it's the thing everyone was complaining about in the trailer of the film, which I always watch the trailers of any film I'm going to watch. Just especially if it's more of an artistic, if it's on the comedic side, and I know some of the comedians in it, I don't need to. I'll know it's going to be funny. But if it's an artistic film, I'll watch the trailer just to see the best clips and how visually amazing it looks, because then I'm more likely to watch it. And this film is really good. It's like a dystopian thing. Apparently, it's very inspired by The City of Lost Children, which was in turn very inspired by Terry Gilliam. This, from what I don't know. Obviously, I don't know the filmmaker's intentions, but from what I can see in the film, it feels like it was a lot more inspired by The City of Lost Children than it was by the films of Terry Gilliam. But because obviously The City of Lost Children was inspired by Terry Gilliam, some of that seeped through. But it seems much less Gilliam-esque than The City of Lost Children. It's still a very good film, though. Then I watched the 1979 miniseries Salem's Lot. It took me ages to find the full version. The full 3-hour miniseries rather than an edited down. I wanted to also, then after watching the miniseries, I wanted to try watching the film version, but I can't find a high quality version of the film online, the film version of it, because I wanted to see how they changed, how they edited it down, because it did feel like it dragged for a little bit, I have to admit that, especially the first part. To be entirely honest, the first part seems pointless, other than to set up the rest of the film. All of the bits that I wanted to see happen in part 2, like the bit where he says, "Look at me," that bit, and the bit where the blue vampire guy who looks like Nosferatu is in, or Count Orlok, as he's actually called in the film. That's all in part 2. So part 1 kind of feels a bit like it doesn't need to be there. So that's that. But it's still really good and shows what how far vampires have fallen. We went from having vampires be terrifying demons, like in this film, to Twilight, where it's just a teenager. And that's it. It's like, that's not good enough. Then I watched Ricky Gervais Live. Did I put 5 politics? Sorry, I put Ricky Gervais Live 5 politics. It's not, it's Live 3, sorry. Humanity is Live 5, although I don't think it's actually called that, but it is his 5th stand-up tour. At least the English ones. He did, like, out of England, which were basically just copies of the other ones. But yeah, Ricky Gervais Live 3 politics. I'll change that in a minute. 2004, year I was born. Was funny, obviously. It was only an hour, though, which was a shame, because I'd seen clips from politics. I'd never watched politics, though, and they were always some of the funniest clips that I'd ever seen him do, right? But it's only an hour long, and the first, 10 minutes aren't even on stage. It's a pre-recorded bit. So you only get, 50 minutes of him, which is really short for a stand-up. Usually it'd be an hour and a half, but we're going to get 50 minutes, which is a shame. But it's a really good 50 minutes, you know what I mean? And then, last night, I watched They Live, 1988, another dystopian science fiction. John Carpenter. And it's really good. I love the idea of the glasses. And being able to put the glasses on and see the signs which say, "Oh, bear," and, watch TV, eat, and then you get to see the aliens. It looks really cool. It looks really... So that's that. Watch all of those. So that's that. So that's films I've been watching. Then what next? Answer any questions that you might have for me. Well, no one's watching, are they? No one's commenting, at least. I think one person was watching, but whatever. Don't care. Don't give a crowser. Crowser isn't a word, at least in English. I combined crap and shizer into one word. Kreiser. I don't give a kreiser. I don't give a crit. You know what I mean? Don't give a sharp. Don't give a shoe. A poo. A pap. I don't give one. Don't give a shoopity doopity. What do you think of that? What do you think of me not giving a shoopity doopity? Eh? No.